49 processes are basically the heart of PMP. So we start with the integration. Integration is first knowledge area. Then we have scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. These are all 10, 10 knowledge areas. Then we have process group, 5 process group: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. Integration is simply the heart of PMP. Integration is the real job of project manager. Team can handle scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, or stakeholder. But integration is a thing that a project manager must do. He must do integration. He must ensure that all tasks in integrations are done according to his requirement, according to the requirement of the project. Okay. In initiation, the first thing is to develop the project charter. To develop the project charter. What is project charter? Project charter is basically a formal document that defines or that gives existence to the project, that says that this project can be created. It's a formal approval. This project now can be created. Project charter defines who will be the project manager, what will be his authority. Are we will be working in a matrix organization, in a projectized organization, in a hybrid organization, which organization we will be working. It is signed by the project sponsor. Project charter gives the linkage between the project and organizational strategy. So it is very important that the project charter get created, and your PMP journey starts with developing the project charter. As soon as the charter is developed or it is in the developing stage, you start identifying stakeholders. Who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are the person who can or is being affected by the project decisions, project activities. As early you identify the project stakeholders, it becomes more and more easy for you to keep on doing the work. If you fail in identifying stakeholders, this can become the reason of your success or failure. So identification of stakeholders and then managing them along the way is the success, is can become the success criteria for your project. Once we are done with the initiation process group, we move towards planning. We move towards planning. Now, planning is all about making the plans. Planning is all about ensuring that everything is being done according to the project management plan, and that is the output of developed project management plan. What is project management plan? Project management plan is basically the mother of all plans. All these plans, from scope till stakeholder, all this area basically comes under project management plan. It becomes the part of project management plan. In summary, project management plan has 9 major plans. You can say 10 if you include requirement, plus 3 baselines. 3 baselines. If you remember, we have 3 constraints: scope, time, and cost as the major constraints. We also call time as schedule. So from scope, we get scope baseline. From cost, we get cost baseline. From schedule, we get schedule baseline. So we have 3 baseline. What is meant by the baseline? Baseline basically defines that this is the limit. This needs to be done. For example, in scope baseline means that all the things that is written in the scope baseline must be completed in the project. All the things and only the things. Nothing additional should be given apart from the scope baseline. Then schedule baseline tells us what is the time available to us. What is the time available to us? Cost baseline tells us how much money we have. Okay, so then we the output of basically here we are making here we are making scope baseline. The output of this process is majorly scope baseline. Here schedule baseline, then cost baseline. Okay, then we get nine plans, nine major plans from this directly area. Plan scope management will have output of as scope management plan and requirement management plan. Schedule management plan will have output schedule management plan. What will be the output of plan cost management?
Estimate cost determine
Cost management plan. In quality management, output will be quality management plan. In plan resource management, the output will be resource management plan. Plan communication management will have output as communication management plan, risk management plan, procurement management plan, stakeholder management plan. So we have basically 10 major plan. I would say nine, but we can say 10. Okay, and three baselines here. Okay, so we have nine amendment plan from scope to stakeholder, and in scope you have one other plan, so we have 10 plan. We have three baselines: scope baseline, schedule baseline, and cost baseline. Then we see what can damage our baseline. This area, the risk can damage our baseline. The risk can damage our baseline. So in order to manage the risk, we make a risk register. We make a risk register. Risk register ensures that all risks have been identified properly and they will be managed along the ways. So once we have all baselines, risk register, we see who will do the work. Who will do the work? The resource will do this work. So we get resource management plan, team charter, activity. We have quality plan to ensure that the proper quality of the project is being implemented. Then we have communication management plan, which will ensure that proper communication will be done among the stakeholders. And if we want to procure anything outside of the project, we have plan procurement management. So that is all about planning area. Planning is very important from exam point of view, because although it is 25% of the exam, but if you can't understand planning, you cannot understand monitoring and control. And if you cannot understand these two areas, you cannot clear exam. So I hope planning is a clear to you. Maybe even if 10% is clear, that is more than enough. Once the plan is done, we get a project management plan. Then we move towards next step, and next process group is execution. Once your plan get approved, now this is the time to do the work. This is the time to perform the task. Okay, now in complete PMP there is one process where real work is being where real work is being done. That is basically execution. Direct and manage work. Direct and manage work, all the work is being done. And once the work is done, we get output as deliverables. We get output as deliverables. Deliverable is, what is deliverable? Something that is produced out of the work. Deliverable has two characteristics. It has to be measurable, it has to be verifiable. It has to be measurable, it has to be verifiable. You must be able to measure your deliverable, you must be able to verify your deliverable. Okay, and along the way we also create work performance data. But we studied the example of corona. How many patients of corona are there yesterday? We said that 2000. So this does not make sense. This is a raw data, facts that are being produced when you are doing the work. So we get work performance data. We also generate issue log. When you are doing work, issues are always being generated, so we get issue log. Then along the way, we also have change request. Change requests are being generated here. So four major output of direct and managed work performance data, deliverable, issue log, change request. Please remember, always focus on the output of the process or output of the complete knowledge area, what you will get here. So direct and manage work, these four deliverables. These four deliverables are like the bones of complete PMP. These four deliverables will move along the complete PMP. So let's first focus on change request. Since we get approved change request in the input, change request can be corrective action, preventive action, or defect repair. What is corrective action? Corrective action is that something bad has happened, but in future we want that that thing does not repeat. So we do corrective action. What is preventive action? We foresee that something bad can happen, so we change our plan accordingly. What is defect repair? Bad has happened. and we cannot change it, we have to
What is
replace
the
them.
third one? Means second close one. What is the third one?
Defect,
Corrective, prevent,
defect repair, defect repair,
effective,
defect repair, defect repair.
effective.
Okay, this change request basically goes to perform integrated change control. Here, change control board is sitting. Change control board basically review all the change request, and the job of change request is to change control board is to approve change request or to basically deny change request. This is the job of change control board. Change control board basically ensure all the change requests that are approved, they're integrated along all three baselines: scope baseline, schedule baseline, cost baseline. So it approves the change request, and then we implement these change requests in direct and manage work. Okay, so then we move along the way. Once we have worked, we have completed, we are doing work here, then along the way knowledge is being produced, manage knowledge, lesson learns are being produced. The major key thing is direct and manage work. Then you manage the quality. Whatever you are doing, you are trying that a quality product is being produced along the way. And who is ensuring quality? Basically team is ensuring the quality. You get the resource, you develop the resource, and you manage them. The two key processes are direct and manage work and team management here. Acquire resource, develop resource, and then team management. Then you manage the communication. All the communication that is done in the project is being done through this area. You manage the communication among all the stakeholders. Whatever the risk plan was, you implement that and you conduct procurement along the way. Okay, then we entered into monitoring and control process group. Monitoring and control is basically all about comparing plan, what you made plan here, project management plan, to what work you guys are doing. Monitoring and controlling is comparing versus planned versus actual. What you have done, what was planned.
Yes.
Okay, that is the job of real job of monitoring and control. Okay, so in scope, you control scope. In schedule, you control schedule. You see the planned schedule and actual schedule, and you get forecast. In control cost, we basically in control cost we do earned value analysis that gives us the schedule forecast, cost forecast. In control quality, we are trying to manage the quality. Then in control resource, we are ensuring that the reason for which the resource we acquired the resource has been done, and we are releasing the resource as the work being done. In monitoring communication, we ensure that the stakeholder engagement is properly done and all engagements are according to the requirement of the project. In control procurement, we are closing the procurements that we started. In monitor risk, we are reassessing all our risk that according to the risk management plan and risk register they have been implemented. Is there any residual risk? Is there any secondary risk? How to audit the risk? All these things are basically done in monitor risk. And basically the work performance data that was produced in direct and managed work, it comes to control schedule till monitor schedule, monitor stakeholder engagement. But once you compared planned versus actual, you are basically comparing work performance data with your plan. And as a result, once you compare plan, you generate work performance information, a contextualized information. A contextualized information is generated here. Then every area basically generate their own work performance information. All these work performance information goes to monitor and control project work. Here project manager combines all this information, remove redundancy, and we get work performance report, a comprehensive reports that is basically communicated to then all stakeholders. Work performance report is then communicated to all stakeholders. How it is communicated? It is communicated basically through manage communication. As I said, all communication is done to this area. It also goes to work performance report to monitor risk, to see what are the risks in the projects and what are the risks have been occurred. It also goes to perform integrated change control. As we discussed before, it will go here and it will help us to evaluate the change request. So once again,
Just Amir, I have one question. This is the performance report. This is like the monthly progress report that we
yes,
get.
yes, 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 yes. Good idea. Good. So in direct and managed work, work performance data is generated. It goes to all controlling process. It get converted into work performance information. Work performance information goes into monitor and control project work. It become work performance report. Work performance reports goes to perform integrated change control. Here basically you evaluate change request. It goes to manage communication. You communicate all information. It goes to monitor risk, where you basically check the status of risk. Okay, that is all about project information. Then the change request that was basically generated in direct and managed work. Change request is also generated here. It can be generated anywhere along the way. It goes to perform integrated change control. Here your change control board evaluate those change requests across scope, schedule and time, and it approves or rejects the change request. Okay, so far any confusion? Okay, then as we discuss, deliverables are being produced here. It's a very important thing. We are doing project because of deliverables. We want to produce deliverables. As soon as the deliverables are produced, they goes to control quality. In control quality, basically we check internally the quality of the product. Is quality according to our standards or not? If it meets our internal standards, it becomes verified deliverables. It becomes verified deliverables. If the quality is not approved according to, if it meets yes here, if it meets no, then a change request is generated, and all the change requests are going to perform integrated change control. Here a corrective preventive action or a defect repair happens. If the change request get approved, we again implement that as an approved change request here. So deliverables produced go to quality. If the quality is rejected, it goes to perform integrated change control as a change request. The change request is implemented in direct and managed work. So once a change request is implemented, again a deliverable is produced. It again goes to quality. If it is accepted, it becomes verified deliverable, and then it goes to validate scope. In validate scope, client basically check the deliverable. The client check the deliverable, and if the client says okay, deliverable is according to my requirement, we get accepted deliverable. And if the client says the deliverable is not according to my requirement, again it goes as a change request to perform integrated control, and again it goes to direct and manage work. Deliverables are produced, goes to quality, again quality is checked, again this cycle is produced. But if the client says the deliverable is accepted, then it accepted deliverable goes to close the project, and here deliverables are transferred to the client. Again, let me just repeat it because this is very important. Okay, so deliverables are basically produced here in direct and managed work. This deliverable goes to control quality. You get basically verified deliverable. If the deliverables are met according to the quality standards, then they goes to validate scope, and you get accepted deliverable. If client accept, then once you get accepted deliverable, it goes to close the project. So this is clear. Okay, once your monitoring and control is completed, you goes to close the project, and you basically complete the project. You complete all the deliverables, all those things. You close your project properly. You basically transfer the product, you write lesson learns, you update OPS, you write final report. So that was all about 49 processes.